As computers become increasingly advanced, it's tempting to believe that we could create some sort of machine which could solve any and all of life's problems for us. And with the advent of strong AI, this is totally possible. But it's that exact potential which makes artificial intelligence an existential threat. The computers aren't going to wipe us out of malice, spite, or some silly hogwash about trying to save us from ourselves. Most likely, the computer will just really, really want to do what we asked it to, and little things like keeping humanity alive are just trivial inconveniences. Ah. I like to call this the B problem because it's my favorite example for how things can go very bad very quickly, even with no ill intent. So we imagine that our new computer scientists have come up with their brand new strong AI. Now, not wanting to go too far too fast, but definitely wanting to do some good with the AI, they settle on having it fix the recent problem with the rapidly declining bee populations across the world. At first, everything goes more or less how you'd expect. It puts plans into place to reseed fields of flowers and to do things like make better hives, artificial nectar stations, general things that any person who really was involved in it could have done themselves. But then it continues a little bit further because roads, parking lots, really, if a bee wanders into those, it's just a little death trap. And really, they're just taking space which should be meadows of flowers. And for that matter, so are buildings and really all sorts of things. And before the computer scientists have even finished their morning coffee, the computer has put into motion the plans that are going to have all of the world's resources allocated to saving bees. Dissatisfied with this conclusion, the computer makes plans to terraform Mars. It all sounds very silly, but that's the exact sort of problem that computer scientists need to be concerned about. Because as it stands now, computers can only take what we tell them to do literally, very literally. So there are millions, if not billions, of scenarios that lead to human extinction just by getting the job done. And by comparison, only a relatively small handful of things which mean that human wins. If a business is the first one to discover artificial intelligence, you can't honestly expect me to believe they're not going to try immediately to use it for their own benefit. And even with the very best of intentions, a wish to optimize human happiness, for example, could end with every human on Earth hooked to a permanent morphine drip. I don't really consider that success, but maybe the computers do. So it's perfectly plausible. And here's the thing. This isn't some far-off future fantasy. Human-level AI is coming soon. I would say it's coming very soon. And it only took my human-level intellect to think of the solutions which lead to our downfall. I'm sure you could think of more. So that level of artificial intelligence is sufficient to lead to our downfall, to say nothing of the sort of solutions a true, strong AI may concoct. To grant a wish safely, an AI would need to understand our full intent in making the wish, plus the surrounding context, and be able to resolve the wish, keeping in line with our human morality, expanded to remove any individual biases, and avoiding any consequences unforeseen by our simple human brains. At that point, we don't even really need to ask the machine to do a specific wish. It should be sufficient to say, all right, AI, I want you to do the thing which I should be asking you to do. It knows the full context. It has our morality somehow programmed in. It should be able to figure this out on its own and do its thing. The future is coming, and if we wait for AI to be knocking on the door before we have the answer to this sort of question, it may be too late to find a solution. And AI is already walking up the steps, so really, there is no moment too soon to think about this kind of question. As always, if you enjoy the video, leave a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, consider subscribing so you never miss out. Until next time, see ya.